Joe Biden was recently asked, before this big news announcing his VP pick, what he thought about Kamala Harris, of course, famously tangling with him at a big Democratic debate.
Now, I don't hold grudges, and I made it really clear that I don't hold grudges. I think it was a debate. It's as simple as that, and she's very much in contention.
That was Biden's view, and he clearly meant it. Harris, of course, entered federal office the same time as Donald Trump after the 2016 election. And just as she did on the debate stage, able to mix it up with Democrats, she has also been quite prosecutorial when she wants to turn the heat up on Trump appointees in her role as a United States Senator. Take a look.
Has the president or anyone at the White House ever asked or suggested that you open an investigation of anyone? Yes or no, please, sir?
The president or anybody else?
Seems you would remember something like that and be able to tell us.
Yeah, but I'm trying to grapple with the word suggest. I mean, there have been discussions of matters out there that they have not asked me to open an investigation, but
Perhaps they've suggested?
I don't know. I wouldn't say suggest.
Hinted?
I don't know.
Inferred? You don't know. Okay.
You don't know. That's a prosecutor who has a witness exactly where she wants him. But that doesn't mean, of course, when you are running for president or vice president, that you're only going to be in a serious mode. More so than other types of campaigns, you got to be out pounding the pavement, having all kinds of conversations. Even in a COVID virtual campaign, you have to show other sides. And we dug this up tonight, given the news. Part of the fun part of a longer policy discussion we had with Kamala Harris. This was in an interview after she was first elected to the Senate in 2017.
My great regret on my Spotify list is I failed to put on one of my most favorite performers ever, Bootsy.
Bootsy Collins.
Of course.
From P-Funk.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Because
I love Bootsy. I'm funkadelic. Are you kidding me?
Kamala Harris is.
Almost done with this interview.
As the saying goes, we have fun. We also got into her record. You're looking at footage, in fact, of a formerly incarcerated individual and myself walking with Kamala Harris into what you see now, which was a discussion on prison reform and how to change the way prosecutors operate, including confronting criticisms of how Kamala Harris operated as a prosecutor at a justice forum we did this campaign cycle. So Kamala Harris has many sides. America's about to learn about all of them in this bruising campaign. And for a special discussion here as part of our coverage, I want to bring in Jason Johnson, professor at Morgan State University and MSNBC analyst, and a contributor to The Griot. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Ari.
Let's start with what you know from covering politics and what earlier guests have discussed, which is this is all of the analogies you want to use, the MRI for the soul, the 24/7 campaign, every part of Kamala Harris. And those of us who've been around her and covered her have seen part of what clearly endeared her to Joe Biden, regardless of their clash, was that she has more than one move. She can, to use a cliche, right. I'm not above cliches. She could go left and right. She can pass and shoot. What do you see in the many things she brings to the table, which is different from some of the candidates who, fairly or not, some of the contenders on this list who had been seen as potentially more limited?
Well, you know, I will start off with my own lyric. Nicki Minaj, she's not difficult. She's about her business. You know, there are a lot of different things that some people may struggle with when it comes to Senator Harris, but she has always been about her business. And that is an important thing, and that's an effective thing, and it's necessary when you have a top of the ticket like Joe Biden who can sometimes wander off into the wilderness. And here's the thing. I am occasionally called a contrarian. I've always been dedicated to the idea. I always thought Senator Harris was going to end up being the nominee. Once Joe Biden sort of talked himself into a corner last year and said it's going to be a black woman, it narrowed down the list of 3 or 4 different people. There are lots of people who are going to be enthusiastic. She can raise money. She's very intelligent. We know she's going to wipe the floor with Mike Pence. That's not going to be that difficult. Her challenge going forward and what the Democratic Party needs is they need somebody who's going to make young people enthusiastic. That is not necessarily an area of strength for Senator Harris, but it is something she can dedicate her time to doing. And the fact that she is, capable of actually cracking a smile and making a joke and going on different kinds of radio shows, that's going to be really necessary because young people who may be concerned about her criminal justice record, young people who may, look, I'm not going to read you the text that I've gotten, young people who may have issues about her authenticity,
won't anyone read me?
They're going to get a chance to know her.
Why won't anyone read me a text?
You want to know?
Yes, I do. It's reporting.
I can tell you right now.
If you have reporting, I'll let you tee it up. Take a second and pull it up from people around the country. Particularly, okay. I'm most interested not in insiders, but in people who say, wait, this pick got my attention. If you're willing to share, you don't have to share their name, obviously. Use your reporting judgment. What do you got?
I've got one of my students right here at Morgan State University. Indifference, since she's a cop, not sure if she's going to flip on us when she gets into office. One of my other students right here. I was more Yang Gang all along, wasn't really that impressed with her, but we need somebody black on the ticket. Another one of my students here, right here. Always liked Harris, really excited, but Professor Johnson, I'm an AKA. These are all people who are under 25. And that is going to be the difference in this campaign. Joe Biden isn't galvanizing Gen Z. Elizabeth Warren may have been able to, Stacey Abrams may have been able to. That wasn't necessarily Senator Harris's strength. So that's what she's going to head out to do. That will be her number one responsibility in this campaign. Taking down the Republicans isn't going to be a problem because they've already screwed things up. They've killed 160. Oh, sorry. They have failed to manage a pandemic that has killed 160,000 people. But Senator Harris's job is going to be go out there into those nooks and crannies, into those places where young people don't have their jobs at Verizon, don't have their jobs at Chipotle, didn't get to graduate this spring and are still at home. And she's got to convince those people that she's going to end up making a difference. I think she can. But I think when Senator Harris sits down with protesters that we have in Minneapolis, with protesters that we have in Oregon, she's going to have to look young people in the eye and say, look, my record in California was one of a progressive senator, not just somebody who wants this particular position. She has that ability, but that's her number one job.
It's really interesting. I'm glad you did crack the text. It may have been different than what some people expected. It's a reminder that there's no monoliths, be it young people or any other category. And Joe Biden has criticism for his crime policies in '94. She has criticism for even more recent ones. But as we pointed out a little bit in our reporting, and we have time to continue this reporting, she also has a big argument about why people who've been in those tough jobs are the reformers. So a lot to get to, Jason. We'll be coming back to you. Thank you for being part of the coverage tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Joy Reid is coming up, and The Beat will be back with one more thing.